It's 2:13 a.m. You jolt awake with a crushing weight on your chest. Your heart is hammering so hard you can hear it pounding in your ears. You're gasping for air like you just ran a marathon, but you've been lying in bed for hours. Your pulse is racing at 110, 120 beats per minute. Cold sweat soaks your pillow. You reach for the nightstand, wondering if this is it, if this is the heart attack you've been dreading. But then, slowly, the feeling fades. Your breathing steadies, your heart calms down, and you tell yourself it was just a bad dream, just stress, just getting older. You close your eyes and try to go back to sleep. Here's what you don't know. That terrifying wake-up wasn't random. It wasn't anxiety. It was your body screaming a warning that something deadly is happening to your heart while you sleep. And it's happening again tonight and tomorrow night and every night until you fix it. Doctors are now discovering that for millions of seniors, nighttime isn't rest. It's when your heart is under the most dangerous attack. Tonight, I'll show you the 3 nighttime mistakes silently attacking senior hearts, and how to fix each one in days. Before we dive in, understand this. Your night should be repair mode. Your blood pressure should drop. Your heart rate should slow. Your body should heal. But for most seniors over 60, the opposite is happening. Blood pressure is surging to dangerous levels. Oxygen levels are plummeting. Blood is thickening like cold syrup. And your heart is working overtime when it should be resting. I'm going to count down the 3 most dangerous nighttime heart killers, from the 3rd most harmful to the absolute worst one that's destroying senior hearts right now. Each one has a simple fix you can start tonight, and the improvements can be dramatic. We're talking about better sleep, lower morning blood pressure, and dramatically reduced heart attack risk within 7 to 14 days. Let's start with mistake number 3, late night heart load. This is the mistake most seniors make without realizing they're sabotaging their heart every single night. It's eating heavy meals late, salty snacks before bed, that glass of wine to help you sleep, or even drinking too much water right before you lie down. Maybe you recognize this. You finish dinner at 7 p.m., have a salty snack at 9 p.m., then climb into bed at 10 p.m. Or you're one of those people who has their coffee at 3 p.m. and wonders why your heart races at night. Or you avoid water all evening because you don't want to wake up to use the bathroom, but then you're desperately thirsty at bedtime and chug 16 ounces right before lying down. Here's what's happening inside your body when you make these mistakes. That heavy meal or salty snack. Your digestive system demands extra blood flow right when your heart is trying to slow down. Your blood pressure spikes. Sodium from that snack makes your body hold on to water, increasing blood volume and forcing your heart to pump harder. The food pushes up against your diaphragm, making it harder to breathe deeply, reducing oxygen to your heart. That glass of wine, it might make you drowsy initially, but 3 to 4 hours later, as your body metabolizes the alcohol, it triggers a rebound effect. Your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure surges, and you wake up with your heart pounding. Caffeine after 2 p.m., it's still in your system 8 to 10 hours later, constricting your blood vessels and keeping your heart rate elevated all night long. And if you're dehydrated all evening and then drink a lot right before bed, your body has to process all that fluid while you're lying flat, putting extra strain on your heart and forcing you to wake up multiple times to urinate. Let me tell you about Walter. Walter is 67 and he loved his routine. Big dinner at 7:30 p.m. with a glass of red wine, salted cashews while watching TV at 9 p.m., then bed at 10 p.m. He thought he was fine, but Walter started waking up at 2 a.m. with his heart racing and chest tightness. His morning blood pressure readings were 158/94. His doctor wanted to add another medication, but Walter asked if there was anything else he could try first. When Walter learned about the late-night heart load, he made 3 simple changes. He moved dinner to 6 p.m., stopped eating after 7:30 p.m., and cut out the wine and salty snacks. Within 1 week, Walter stopped having those terrifying middle-of-the-night wake-ups. Within 2 weeks, his morning blood pressure dropped to 138/82, a 20-point improvement without any medication changes. Here's the fix for mistake number 3, and you can start this tonight. First, the 3-hour rule. Stop eating at least 3 hours before bed. If you must have something, make it a very small, light protein snack, like a few almonds or a tablespoon of unsalted nut butter. Nothing heavy, nothing salty, nothing sugary. Second, hydration timing. Drink most of your water during the day. Have your last full glass about 1 to 2 hours before bed, then just small sips if needed. This keeps you hydrated without forcing your body to process excess fluid while you're trying to sleep. Third, the caffeine cutoff. No coffee, tea, energy drinks, or dark chocolate after 2 p.m. Even if you think it doesn't affect you, it's keeping your heart rate elevated and your blood vessels constricted all night. Fourth, the alcohol rule. No alcohol within 4 hours of bedtime. If you enjoy a drink, have it with dinner, not as a nightcap. Your heart will thank you with uninterrupted, deeper sleep. Fifth, evening sodium cap. Keep your evening meal and any snacks very low in sodium. Your heart doesn't need the extra fluid retention and blood pressure spike while it's trying to rest. Most people who fix this mistake see their morning blood pressure drop 10 to 20 points within 7 to 10 days. Now let's move to mistake number 2, heart-harmful sleep setup. This is about how you're actually lying in bed, your position, your pillows, your room environment, and it's silently crushing your airway, dropping your oxygen levels, and forcing your heart to work in crisis mode all night long. Maybe this sounds familiar. You sleep flat on your back with your head tilted forward because your pillow is too soft or too high. Or you pile up 3 or 4 pillows trying to get comfortable. Or your bedroom is warm and stuffy because you like it cozy. Or you sleep with your mouth open, snoring through the night. Here's what's happening inside. When you sleep flat on your back with your chin tucked down, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissues backward, narrowing your airway like pinching a straw. Every breath becomes harder work. Your oxygen levels start to drop. Your heart has to pump faster and harder to try to deliver enough oxygen to your organs. The snoring you hear? That's the sound of your airway struggling. And every time your airway narrows or briefly closes, your oxygen drops and your body releases a flood of stress hormones. Your blood pressure spikes. Your heart races. You wake up partially. Maybe not enough to remember it, but enough to prevent deep restorative sleep. A warm, stuffy room makes it worse. Your body needs to cool down slightly to sleep deeply. When the room is too warm, you can't enter the deep sleep stages where your heart rate and blood pressure drop to their lowest, healthiest levels. Let me tell you about Ruth. Ruth is 72, and she'd always slept on her back with 2 thick, soft pillows. Her husband complained about her snoring, but Ruth didn't think it was a big deal. What she did notice was that she'd wake up 3 or 4 times every night, often with her heart pounding. Her morning blood pressure was consistently high, 165/92. She felt exhausted every morning despite sleeping 8 hours. Ruth's daughter, who's a respiratory therapist, noticed Ruth's chin was tucked way down during sleep, and she could hear Ruth's breathing become labored and interrupted. She convinced Ruth to make some changes. Ruth switched to sleeping on her left side with 1 medium firm pillow that kept her neck in a neutral position. She lowered her bedroom temperature to 67 degrees. She started using a simple saline nasal rinse before bed to keep her airways clear. The changes were dramatic. Within 3 nights, Ruth's husband said her snoring had almost stopped. Within a week, Ruth was sleeping through the night without waking up. Within 2 weeks, her morning blood pressure had dropped to 148/84, and Ruth said she felt more rested and alert than she had in years. Here's the fix for mistake number 2. First, sleep position. If you can, sleep on your left side. This takes pressure off your heart and keeps your airway more open. If you must sleep on your back, use a small wedge or elevate the head of your bed slightly, just 30 degrees, to prevent your airway from collapsing. Second, pillow choice. Use 1 medium firm pillow that keeps your neck in a neutral position, not tilted forward, not tilted back. Your head should be in line with your spine. If you're a side sleeper, you might need a slightly thicker pillow to fill the space between your shoulder and head. Third, room environment. Keep your bedroom cool, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep it dark. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask. Keep it quiet. Use earplugs or a white noise machine if needed. Fourth, nasal breathing support. If your nose feels stuffy, use a saline nasal rinse or spray before bed. Clear nasal passages mean easier breathing and more oxygen to your heart all night long. Fifth, if you snore heavily or your partner says you stop breathing during sleep, talk to your doctor about sleep apnea testing. This could be saving your life. Most people who fix their sleep setup notice better, deeper sleep and more stable nighttime heart rhythms within 3 to 5 days. If this is surprising you, tap the like button so YouTube shows these life-saving tips to more seniors. Now we come to mistake number 1, nighttime oxygen debt, the silent killer. This is the most dangerous mistake because you can't see it. You might not feel it, but it's slowly destroying your heart every single night. It's the combination of untreated snoring and sleep apnea, chronic mouth breathing, and stress spikes that happen at 3 or 4 a.m. when your body's natural cortisol surge kicks in. Here's what you might recognize. You snore loudly every night, or your partner says you sometimes gasp or choke in your sleep. You wake up with a dry mouth and sore throat. You have to get up to urinate multiple times. You wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. feeling anxious or with your heart racing, and you feel exhausted in the morning despite being in bed for 8 hours. Here's the terrifying truth about what's happening inside your body. Every time your airway narrows or closes during sleep, even for just 10 or 15 seconds, your oxygen level drops. Your brain panics. It floods your system with adrenaline and cortisol to force you to breathe. Your blood pressure spikes, sometimes to 180 or 200 over 100. Your heart rate jumps to 90, 100, 110 beats per minute. This can happen 5, 10, 20, even 50 times per hour throughout the night. Every single spike damages your blood vessels, strains your heart, and makes your blood stickier and more prone to clots. Over months and years, this dramatically increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. The 3 a.m. wake-ups with anxiety? That's your body's stress hormones surging. If you're already dealing with interrupted breathing and oxygen drops, this natural cortisol spike pushes your heart into overdrive. Let me tell you about Eleanor. Eleanor is 69, and for years she'd been waking up at 3 a.m. almost every night, feeling anxious and with her heart pounding. She'd also wake up gasping for air occasionally. Her husband said she snored loudly and sometimes seemed to stop breathing for alarming seconds. Eleanor's blood pressure was dangerously high, 172 over 96 in the mornings. She was on 3 blood pressure medications, but they barely controlled it. Eleanor finally agreed to do a home sleep study. The results shocked her. She was experiencing 32 breathing interruptions per hour. Her oxygen was dropping to 84%, dangerously low. Her heart was under attack all night, every night. Eleanor started using a CPAP machine to keep her airway open. She also implemented a wind-down routine. No screens after 8 p.m., 10 minutes of gentle stretching, and a breathing exercise called 4-7-8 breathing to calm her nervous system before bed. The transformation was life-changing. Within 1 week, Eleanor was sleeping through the night. Within 2 weeks, her morning blood pressure had dropped to 142 over 78, a 30-point improvement. Within a month, her doctor was able to reduce one of her blood pressure medications. Eleanor said she felt like she'd been given her life back. Here's the fix for mistake number 1, and this is the most important section of this entire video. First, ask yourself these screening questions. Do you snore loudly most nights? Has anyone ever told you that you stop breathing during sleep? Do you wake up gasping or choking? Do you have high blood pressure that's hard to control? If you answered yes to 2 or more, talk to your doctor about sleep apnea testing. This could literally save your life. Second, nasal hygiene routine. Every night before bed, use a saline nasal rinse or spray to clear your nasal passages. This promotes nose breathing, which is much healthier for your heart than mouth breathing. Third, the 4-7-8 downshift breathing. 30 minutes before bed, do this simple exercise. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, breathe out through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat this 4 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and tells your body it's safe to rest. Fourth, create a wind-down ritual, same time every night. Do the same calming activities for 30 minutes before bed. This trains your body that sleep is coming and reduces those 3 a.m. anxiety spikes. Fifth, consistent bedtime. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. This regulates your cortisol rhythm and reduces those middle-of-the-night stress surges. Sixth, morning reset. Within 30 minutes of waking, get 15 to 20 minutes of bright light exposure and take a 20-minute walk. This resets your circadian rhythm and helps your body know when it's time to be alert and when it's time to sleep. Most people who address their nighttime oxygen debt See dramatic improvements in sleep quality and morning blood pressure within 10 to 14 days. Let me quickly recap these 3 heart-killing mistakes. Mistake number 3 was late-night heart load. The fix: stop eating 3 hours before bed, time your hydration right, cut caffeine by 2 p.m., no alcohol within 4 hours of sleep, and cap evening sodium. Mistake number 2 was heart-harmful sleep setup. The fix: sleep on your left side or with slight elevation. Use 1 medium firm pillow. Keep your room cool at 65 to 68 degrees. Support nasal breathing and get tested for sleep apnea if you snore heavily. Mistake number 1 was nighttime oxygen debt. The fix: screen yourself for sleep apnea signs. Practice nasal hygiene. Do 4-7-8 breathing before bed. Create a wind-down ritual. Maintain a consistent bedtime and reset your rhythm with morning light and movement. Here's the hope I want you to hold on to. Your heart can heal fast when you give it the nighttime rest it desperately needs. Within days, you'll notice deeper sleep. Within a week, you'll feel more rested. Within 2 weeks, your morning blood pressure will start dropping. Within a month, your heart will be stronger, your risk will be lower, and you'll have the energy and independence you deserve. Your heart beats 100,000 times every single day, working tirelessly to keep you alive. Give it the gift of restful, healing nights. Protect it from these silent nighttime attacks. Fix these 3 mistakes starting tonight, and your heart will reward you with years of healthy, independent living. Which mistake do you think you've been making? Tell me in the comments. And if you know someone who snores, who wakes up with high blood pressure, or who has mysterious middle-of-the-night heart racing, share this video with them. You could literally save their life. Subscribe for practical senior health tips that protect your independence. We cover heart health, stroke prevention, circulation, memory, and aging strong. Your support helps this community grow and gets life-saving information to more seniors. Your night should heal you, not harm you. Starting tonight, make these changes. Your heart is counting on you. Sleep well, protect your heart, and wake up every morning stronger and more independent.